to show you how I killed this buck a few years ago up in where I used to live in New Jersey, and how I figured it out, and how I knew he was there, and postseason scouting, and how postseason scouting and the win has everything to do with success. And I'm just going to tell you, this is all public property. My access was from this road here, and everybody knows Google Earth. If you look up, this way is north, left west, east is right, down is south. I had this particular night, I had a northwest wind, so it was coming out of this way, going this way. So what I did was, this is my stand right here. I probably should have. This is the buck beds I'm hunting, and there's also a buck bed over here. I think it's the same buck bed. Um, it's actually like a little island, and what I wanted to do with too is show you the difference between a hard transition. If you watch this line, this is a hard transition, very hard transition. Okay, this here is a hard transition. It's mature trees going right into the marsh, cattails, Phragmites is all this. All this is Phragmites. Now here's your soft transition, which they this is soft transition where they like to bed at. This is your soft transition all in here. And I knew this was here by cyber scouting the year before, reading a lot of stuff online about bed hunting and stuff like that. So this is how the night went. Like I said, I had a wind out of the northwest, as you can see. So what I did was, instead of here's my stand right here. Here's the buck beds. You look at these buck beds. This buck's bed. Come on, mouse. You can see a trail coming from very faintly going across this. This is absolute. You can't walk across this. You're going to go waist deep, if not chest deep. The trail here going across. Here's a trail here going down this way to this other bed, and wherever he wants to go that way. This is soft on the end. It's very soft. It's immature, brushy, and they like water on all three sides. This is Phragmites, an open area. This is absolutely, you can't even walk through. It's so wet and thick. If you did, you'd be up in your chest. How did deer get through? I don't know, but this deer had a bed on this side for any north wind of this point. This buck almost had a bed on this side, on this point, for any southerly wind. So if there's a southerly wind, he was bedded on this point. If it was any northerly wind or westerly wind, he was bedded on this point. That's key. You got to recognize that. And the reason why I hunted it this night, this certain night I hunted this buck bed, is a few days before I came in, and I noticed that these rubs in this area were opened up, and these rubs in here were opened up. So these rubs in here opened up in here was opened up. I knew that this buck was using this area for some reason now. Well, I knew now's the time to hunt it. So I like to hunt our prevailing winds in this time of year. I killed him in October, end of October. I'm sorry, the end of November, right around Thanksgiving. I killed this buck, and our prevailing winds here are northwest, any west northwest wind. So I knew he was going to bed any north wind. He was going to bed on this point. This here is a severe pressure bed. I believe it's a really good spot, and this is soft transition here, man. It's a really good spot. So, but I'm pretty sure he's bedding here with an east wind, like an easterly wind. Any wind out of this direction going towards this way. So if it was going like this, he was bedding here. If it was coming from the west, northwest, he's bedding here. Anything from the south, he's bedding here. So keep that in mind. You got to know that. But why I hunted this again is because these rubs opened up. They were fresh within a day or two. So I said, uh-oh, it's time to hunt this stand. So what I did this night, the wind was right out of here, so you gotta get past a certain point. So you're not walking in like, so here's your bed. You don't want to walk in from down here and go like this, because right here, your wind got him. Your wind here is going to his bed. So what you got to do in this scenario, and all your scenarios, your entry routes are key. You got to come up from above them. So what I did was I actually walked to this dead tree here, and then walked down the edge through the rubs. I seen the rubs were really opened up into my stand. And that's what I did. And I bet you I wasn't 75 yards from that deer. Let's measure it. So, all right, here's my stand. 69 yards I got from that deer. Right there. 69 yards, 70 yards. So, that's how close you can get to these deer. But what happened was I got to about this. This was my marker to hunt this bed with this northwest wind. When I got to this tree, it took me almost, this dead tree here was my marker. When I got to here, it took me, I think, an hour and a half to get from here to here. Maybe an hour. I think it was about an hour. It took me to get to where my stand set up. Now this time, at that time, wasn't really a mobile hunter. I had to stand here. I had to stand up in here. And I did have a stand up in here because this is almost like two funnels. And I'm totally mobile now, so I could do any of this and be in my stand within 10, 15 minutes. I'm not rushing. I'm not doing, I'm not in no hurry. But anyway, I knew to hunt this stand this certain day because I knew these rubs were opened up this week. That's how you tell when to hunt these certain beds in a certain area. Okay, a lot of people will say, okay, all right, these beds here, how do I know when to hunt them? Well, when these rubs are opened up, that's when you hunt them. That's when you get the right wind. Now, this particular area, I can hunt on any wind because any northerly wind, he's going to be bedded here. Any southerly wind, he's going to be bedded here. Keep that in mind. So if it was a southerly wind, I would come in from the south, walk this, and hunt in here, and wait for him to come out this way, wherever he's going. I don't care where he's going. I know he's going to come from here, and I know where he's going to come from here. I really don't care where he's eating, where he's hanging out with other deer, where he's chasing does at. I don't care. All I care about is where he's sleeping at, because most of my hunts are afternoons. So morning hunts are tough to hunt like this because you got to get in here and you're actually crossing the deer, and the deer's going to cross your path. He's going to come by you, and a lot of times he'll smell you. But this particular deer was, I think it was like 4 or 5 years old. It wasn't a real big rack. South Jersey does not have real big racks. It's very, very rare to have big racks like or pencil. But he was 130 some pounds. He was a very, very big mature buck. He was 4 or 5 years old. A taxidermist said he had. But this took place. I was successful on this hunt because everything was right. I did my homework the year before, and I snuck in here on the right wind and nice and quiet, and I creeped. Like I said, it took me to get from this dead tree here to this stand marker, and this stand I was in is 69, 70 yards from that buck bed. It took me probably an hour and a half to get from here, maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so, from here to here, which is 300 yards. But you know what? That's the kind of stuff you got to do if you want to kill mature bucks. So just a little video here I wanted to show you, and I'm going to go over some more mapping stuff, within a week or so. This is the time to do it now. All my post-season scouting's done. Everything's greened up right now. But get on your computers, guys, and read. There's so much information that'll make you successful. And this was a good hunt. But I do want to say there's some podcasts out there. There's a real good one I listened to in the gym this morning from White Knuckle Outdoors. He did an interview with Aaron Warburton from the Hunting Public. I think them guys are awesome. And last week he did one with Dana and Fulton, Jeff Geike. It was really good. I think it was last week or a week before, I forget. But these podcasts are really good. Where to Hunt did one with me a couple months ago. If you want to hear it, look it up. Episode 50 on Where to Hunt podcast. But guys, keep watching, man, and just keep at it. Keep at it. Keep positive, and stay safe. I try to bring deer all year to you guys, and I want deer all year. So be sure to subscribe and like to the Buck Psych.